Hey y'all, welcome back to Date Night with the Oputas. I am Camry and
I'm Isaiah. What's going on?
Y'all, we are so excited for this topic tonight because we are going to be talking about something that is super juicy.
Yeah.
But this is also a topic that I am very passionate about. I knew years ago, even when this topic was fresh, I knew that if God had got us through this, that I was going to be I knew one day we were going to be talking about this. I didn't know it was going to be on a podcast, but I knew we were going to be.
I didn't know. I thought it was going to be a secret.
What?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a secret. We was just going to move on with our lives.
Really?
Yeah.
You should have known.
I mean, we did move on with our lives, but yeah, I wasn't expecting to like put
yourself on blast.
Yeah.
But you already knew. You know how transparent I am, and you know how whenever I go through something, God get me through something, I'm ready to go tell everybody.
Yeah.
You don't remember I was telling our business?
Yeah, you tell our business to whoever talk to you, whoever say hello.
No, it is not. It's whoever God put on my heart. Nah. When God put something on my heart for me to share with somebody, I'm gonna share it, regardless of how embarrassing it is. I'm like, I know the Holy Spirit is leading me to share this story, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started out. I am a very transparent person. If you don't know me, very transparent. My husband, I
like secrets. No, I'm not secret. I like privacy a little bit.
He's more of a private person, not secrets. But he's more of a private person. But it's funny that now we are both sharing something that most people
won't talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't want to talk about this. And if you do talk about it, people go in on you and start calling you all kind of names and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So the topic that we are talking about, if you have not figured it out by now, it is infidelity. Today, we are going to be telling you, first of all, how we met, how we ended up together, and then how infidelity became a thing.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful story.
It is. It is a beautiful story. And I'm excited to tell it. So
go ahead. You want to just...
Okay, well, let's just start off by like how we met. Let's talk about that.
How we met. You want me to go first?
I know you be ready because you love talking about this.
Yeah. So basically how we met. So I met Cameron through her mom, and her mom was basically auctioning her off to the highest bidder. I'm just kidding. No, she was basically
I'm like, if my mama listens to this, do not be making no jokes like that because she will call in a second.
I'm just playing. She know.
Okay.
No, but really though, her mom, we worked together and she basically showed me like, hey, these are my daughters. And
I'm a twin, by the way.
These are my daughters. She showed me.
We look just alike.
She showed me both of her daughters, and I got to choose. I literally got to choose which one I wanted to talk to. I did, and there was a picture with both of them together, and she showed me both of them. You know, they're twins. Some people can't tell them apart, but I can. But when she showed me the picture, I looked at Camry. And I said, I want to talk to her. I said, I want her. And
what did my mama say?
My mom was like, she got a baby, boy. She got a baby. And then I was like, I said, I'll be the stepdaddy. I said, I don't care. I'll be the stepdaddy. But it was just something just like, nah, I want her. Her sister at the time didn't have any kids. She was single, or I don't know what she had going single, on. But at the time, I was like, nah, that's what I wanted. Like I said, they're twins. Keep in mind, they're twins. In the picture, they looked kind of similar. They had different hairstyles at the time, but it was just something that's like, I don't care about this one. She's single. She's free. She can do whatever. But I want that one right there. I want to talk to her.
Oh.
Yeah. And did she call you or something? I can't remember if she called you or.
I think she just told me about you. So real quick, my mom was trying to get me away from my baby daddy.
Yeah.
I guess she thought that if she could introduce me to another guy, that I would leave him alone. I mean, and it worked, but it worked too well because she didn't think that we were going to actually get together.
Yeah, she ended up getting mad with. I ended up proposing and marrying her. But you know, at the time, you know, we didn't know how it was going to end up. But yeah, I ended up. So basically, from there, I think I started talking to you on Facebook.
Yeah, you reached out.
Yeah, I started messaging her on Facebook. I
thought you were so lame.
Yeah,
because I think you had got on the phone and you was like, "So, what did you ask me?"
I don't remember.
Like, when can I take you out on a date? And I was just
I just kept trying to take you out.
Yeah, he kept asking when can he take me out on a date? And I was like,
see how she just said that was lame though? Like,
no,
ain't that normal?
That's normal, the way right? You were talking on the phone, I was like, I'm confused.
I want to take you out. Like, that's
I know,
how you get to know somebody.
It was just the way like that you communicated. Like, I could tell you were quiet.
Yeah.
And you didn't really want to talk, but then I don't know, you really quiet, like, so we're gonna take you out. Like, you could tell it was so unnatural for you, but he was funny. I'm glad I let you take me out though.
Yeah.
And so, mind you, y'all, I think Kate was at the time like 3 months.
Hey, yeah, about 2-3 months.
He was probably 2 months when you first asked me.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me to take me out.
So yeah, it took you.
And then we finally met up for a date. I think like maybe 2 months after that, when I came back home.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to go see Twilight.
We went to go see Twilight for our first date.
Yeah. And I saw she had this little shortcut.
Kind of like this. Maybe a little bit shorter though.
It was way shorter than that.
It was way shorter?
Yeah, it was way shorter.
Yeah, it was like right here though, by my chin.
Yeah, it was like.
And then I had like bangs.
Pixie cut. Yeah, like a pixie cut, right?
But it was a pixie cut that had grown out. So
yeah. So yeah, a little shortcut. It had a sundress. She had a little.
A sundress, babe.
What turquoise? It was a maxi. It was like the little maxi dress, the little turquoise maxi dress.
Oh my gosh, what are you talking about? Because it was cold when we first met up.
You know what? That was one of your pictures. Never mind.
You talking about with the pixie cut and the dress.
Yeah, that's the picture I'm talking about. But yeah, you're right. It was cold.
I was about to say, boy, what you talking about? You getting me mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah. No, so you're right. It was cold. It was like October, November. Yeah, it was chilly.
November,
it was November. It was chilly outside.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and the wind was blowing.
It was one of your pictures that I just really loved of you. That you had that.
Yeah, that's because you saw the picture was from behind.
Oh yeah. Looking back. Yeah. You know how them sundresses go. Yeah.
But anyway, so.
But yeah,
that's how we met, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a baby.
And yeah, she had a baby, and honestly, it didn't really matter for me. I mean, keep in mind, I had no idea. I ain't, know nothing about no kids. Nothing
Not
like
at
that.
all.
I didn't have any kids. I was only 23. He was 21. And none of that mattered for some reason. None of that mattered to me. And I just said, that's who I want.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's fast forward. So when we started dating, I was going through a really tough time.
Yeah.
So I lost my scholarship because my sons, me and his dad, we were not seeing eye to eye. His dad wanted to live his life. He's in college, and that's understandable. He's a guy, he's in college. He I want to live my life. I was on full scholarship and track. And because he wanted to live his life, I had to be the one to take care of the baby, of my son. And so I couldn't go to practice. I couldn't go to the track meets. So I lost my scholarship, and I was out there in Louisiana at school. And so I started dating Isaiah.
Yeah.
But I just had so many issues, and this is the time to where I felt like everything was going wrong, but I started to seek God more and more. And I was like, God, I want you so, I want more of you. Like, I really want to, for real, live my life for you this time.
Yeah.
I'm ready to give up everything. I was in love. With Isaiah. I knew I liked him, but at this point I was in love even more with God, that I said, Lord, I'm willing to dump this man right here. This man that he's a good guy.
I was trying hard too. Hey, I bought a phone. She didn't have no phone when we met.
Why you gotta tell them all of that? That is not even relevant.
It is kind of relevant because this is it's just to show how
we trying to show y'all how
I was trying to pursue you. I bought a phone just so we can talk.
Okay.
I think I paid the bill too. Did I pay the bill?
You did not pay no phone bill. No.
I just got the phone.
No.
Okay.
My parents were still paying my phone bill.
They just didn't want to buy her a new phone, but I paid for her the phone just so we can talk.
You making me sound like I was just.
You was in college. What you mean? You was in college.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did.
Okay.
I pulled out all the stops. He
did. He did everything. He even like when my mom was watching my son in Dallas. When I was in Louisiana, he brought my son all the way to Louisiana for me.
Yeah, I ain't never. That was the first time meeting him, right? Or no? Was that my second time?
That might have been your first time meeting him.
No, I think
second. No, we met. I mean, you met him. Yeah, you were around him. That would be crazy to be like, oh, by the way, here's my son. You get to meet my son and then bring him to college. No, you had met him plenty of times because we were together. Like we were in a whole relationship.
Was we?
Yeah, because remember the first time I came over your house? The second date. Remember the second date I had to bring because my mom was like, I'm not babysitting again. So I had to start bringing Cade with me. So every time that we went on a date, like Cade was there.
Yeah.
We had only got that first one day. My mama was like, nope, take the baby with you. So
yeah.
But anyway, I was getting ready to. This story is really important because this story is going to explain to y'all why we are where we are now.
Yeah.
And so I told God, I don't want anything. I don't care. Like this man, he's a good guy. I love him, but God, I love you more that I'm ready to give him up. And so I need you to show me. I asked God, I said, God, if this is not my husband, I need you to confirm it. And, or if he's my husband, I need you to show me. Like God, you're going to have to tell me. And at this point, I never felt like I had heard from God. I never felt like I could pray and get an answer. But this was the time to where I'm like, God, I'm asking you a question and I need yes or no. And so I decided to fast. I fasted, did a 1-day complete total fast, no food, no water. And I wasn't satisfied. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do the Daniel fast. So right after I did that 1-day fast, then I went maybe like 2 days later, I went straight into the Daniel fast. Isaiah didn't know I was getting ready to break up with him because I was so ready. I was like, God, I'll just break up with him now before I get your answer. Then I don't know, because I just love you so much and I just want to be so close to you and having this intimate relationship. But anyway, I ended up telling Isaiah about the fast. I said, hey, listen, I'm going on the fast for 21 days. I'm just letting you know, and probably not going to be doing a lot of talking. I don't really want to talk to you during the fast, but if you fast with me, then, we can discuss like Bible verses. We read the Bible together, do Bible study. And I honestly thought he was going to be like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. Like, what? I can't eat meat. I can only eat vegetables for 21 days.
Yeah.
But he said yes.
And I didn't hesitate either. It's kind of, strange thinking about it. I don't know why I said, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I didn't, there was no hesitation. Like, yes.
Yeah. Now, if I tell you to do a Daniel fast out of nowhere, you'll be like, I don't know.
I'm like, give me a couple days. I gotta, start weaning myself off of stuff. But yeah, I didn't hesitate.
You didn't.
And I had no idea. I didn't even know what fasting was.
Wow.
When it happened. I didn't even know what fasting was. And it was like, I never did Bible, never was worried about doing no type of Bible studies, anything. Like, I wasn't even going to church.
You took me to church once, though.
I took you to church to see my mom. And, to show what take you to the church that I went to and see my mom, stuff like that. But before I met you, I wasn't going to church. I wasn't.
Oh, I didn't know that. I guess I didn't ask enough questions. I thought, you went to church.
No, because I went to church. I was.
Oh no, I knew that. Yeah, you're right.
So I was in school too, basically. I was working though, but I was in school kind of. but yeah, I wasn't really going to church. Wasn't really reading. I was living the bachelor single guy's life.
Yeah, and then I
kind of a grown up because I was working too. So
yeah, you were working full time.
Yeah, full time. So yeah, I had no idea what fastings was, and I didn't hesitate, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So he had no idea what I was praying to God for. I didn't discuss I didn't even tell him why I was fasting. I just said, I'm doing this fast. If you want to join me, you can. If not, it's fine. But you probably won't be hearing from me much. And so again, y'all, I said, God, if this is my husband, I need you to make it loud and clear, because I don't want to waste time with no other man. I've already been through enough. I just want you. Y'all, we're about, I think, a week or maybe 1 or 2 weeks into the fast. I want to say 1. It was on the first week. It was the first week of the fast. We were on video chat and we were getting ready to do Bible study. And this man, you start singing that song.
Which one? Let's get
Meet me at the altar. You start humming. He started humming the song. And I was like, what the world? But my antennas didn't go off because I was like, I think it's that was just random. Like, that's not what he's not hinting at something. But anyway, he kept humming this song. And I'm like, I looked at him and he looked at me with this little, like, he kept doing this weird smile. Yeah. And this man asked me to marry him on video. What was it?
Was
Skype.
On Skype.
We were on Skype. This man asked me to marry him on Skype. And I was like, what in the world?
Yeah. And come to think about it, I don't know where it came from. I don't know. Somebody was like, let's get married. I want to marry you.
Wow. So when that happened, I told God, and we finished the fast. We still finished. I didn't stop the fast just because he asked me to marry him. I'm like, no, I'm still going to go forward with this because I still want this intimate relationship with God. And
yeah,
I felt like this was the best way for us to start off this engagement is by doing the fast. But I told God, I promised God at some point, I don't remember when, but I promised God that I would never forget how I encountered him for the first time. I told God, regardless of what like the struggles that we have to go through, that I would remember, and I would every time that I would go through a struggle, I would keep that in my mind of knowing that it was God that put us together. It was nothing but God. Our relationship, our marriage was ordained by God. But I want to say this. Just because your marriage is ordained by God does not mean that you are exempt from spiritual attacks. That does not mean you are exempt from going through things like infidelity, going through all kind of stuff. Like, because we've gone through it. Okay.
Yeah.
But what kept us together was the fact, or for me, was knowing that this was my encounter with God. I know God is not going to have me in a relationship, in a marriage. He's not going to tell me to get into a marriage that was going to fail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, what kept me in it was, honestly, is just, I knew I wouldn't be able to find nothing else like you. Yeah, I mean, for me, you were the first woman to really introduce me to God.
Wow.
You was the first woman to actually challenge my spirituality. You wasn't attracted to me for looks. You wasn't attracted to any of those things. It was all about my character. That's what really, because, it was different. You don't really come into, at that time, I didn't come into contact with many women or girls that were like that. Wow. So just, knowing, and then just knowing, who you are, your character, that, I never wanted to leave that no matter what we went through. I never wanted to leave that. So, yeah.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard you say that
way.
That way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about let's talk about why. How, or not why, but how did we find ourselves in a situation like infidelity?
Yeah. Okay.
And can I start? Can I just say something real quick?
Go ahead.
This is my point. So y'all, I told y'all that we were fasting, right? We still were living the lives of lukewarm Christians. So I assumed that he had some type of relationship with God, but I don't think God was like the biggest topic.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to do things. Like I was the type of Christian who I felt like I had to do the things. Like we did. I had this rule. I was like, you know what? I told. Remember? I don't know if you remember. Do you remember I told you I was a virgin?
Yeah.
And you were like, what? How are you? And I'm like, nope.
Yeah. I'm
not doing anything until I get married. And we did slip up a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I was proud of. I felt like we did such a great job at abstaining, even though we actually didn't abstain, but we kind of did. You know, it was. We did have some weak moments.
I feel like I did better than you though.
Okay, let's stop right there. Anyway, I did those things because I felt like if I can do a great job at abstaining from sex, that God was going to bless our marriage or bless up. Because even before marriage was even a thought, I knew that I wanted to save myself.
Yeah.
Like I knew that I had already had a baby and I've gone through traumatic relationships or a traumatic relationship. And I wanted to save myself from my husband. And so, but we used to turn up.
Yeah.
We used to, like, we used to drink.
Yeah. And
it wasn't like, was it every weekend? Like just about.
Just about every weekend, yeah.
So this is my point. So we're talking about how did infidelity get in. First of all, I want to say this, that if you are living a life of sin, you are like, it's a breeding ground for the enemy to just come in and do his work. Like he can do whatever, because when we sin, we open the door for the enemy to come in and to have his way. Especially in a marriage that God had ordained from the beginning. Like we were already a threat to the enemy. Mm-hmm. He didn't want us to succeed. But guess what? When we were up in the club doing all kind of stuff, you know what kind of spiritual attack. So I just want to say that infidelity is not just somebody, like people just look, I wouldn't be with him because I wouldn't be with my man if he cheated. But we open the door to that.
Yeah.
We open the door to spiritual attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, okay. So you tell me some of the things that you feel that led. Wait, do we need to tell them? Because do we need to answer the question of who cheated?
Basically we are.
Okay. Well, y'all see. Okay.
But I guess just basically what you just said, what led up to it was the life we lived, and then the dramatic change that you kind of had when it came to how you treated me.
Yeah.
That's what led up to it. Because when we were basically, honestly, just having fun, doing the things that we were doing at 20, what normal 21, 23-year-olds do at that time. They go out, they drink, they do things. They go to the club. Wait, not normal. I feel
a lot of it. It's normal.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. But we're just doing all those things, and then one day, and you kind of, now not even one day. I mean, you just kind of on the weekend. During the week, it's like, hey, you need to be doing this. You need to do that. You need to be like this.
Oh my gosh! And first of all, okay, this is okay. Keep going, man. I didn't know you were gonna say this.
Yeah, and then it's just, this is basically what led up to it.
Okay,
this is what led up to it. So, you just kind of, it led to a lot of confusion. It was a lot of confusion.
Wow.
So when there's that confusion, it causes, it, like you said, let the enemy slip in. So we had a confusion, but then we work, we had different lives outside of stuff. So when there's other people that gives you that normalcy that you had, it makes it easier to fall into that temptation trap.
So wait. Now I'm I'm lost a little bit.
You lost. So
okay, so you saying like what was normal?
Yeah. So like you kind of, you started to change when it came to us having fun, drinking. Mm-hmm. That stuff we were doing when we met. But
then I just drastically came.
Yeah, it was just a drastic change as of.
Okay.
This is just one reason.
Okay. Wait, babe. Okay, I feel like you went too far.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Because that was, dang. That was a lot. But back up to, let's back up to like, really, because it was something that you said that I wanted you, like, what was it about you? Like, tell me about some characteristics that you felt like you had that led up to infidelity coming in.
Some characteristics that...
Well, not characteristics, but okay, why I gotta say it? You supposed to say it. I'm
going to say it, but
you know what I'm talking about?
What, my values?
Yes, yeah. That was so good. I want you to talk about that.
Okay. So... I didn't think that was a good point to put.
That is a very good point.
I mean, I know it was a good point, but I didn't feel like it was a good part to really go into that. But that's kind of why. That's more like why. Why did I cheat?
Yeah,
that's not like what
what makes a man. Tell me what do you think? And you can speak for yourself, and then for a lot of men.
What makes a man cheat? One reason I feel like that makes a man cheat is basically just not having any values, not valuing yourself, not having any integrity. That's one reason that really makes a man cheat. So for me, I grew up, like we talked about in the previous episode, I didn't know how a man was supposed to be. I was raised by my mother, but she didn't teach me how to be a man. She didn't tell me what a man's supposed to do or how a man, should treat a woman. So as I grew up, I was just, doing pretty much what our culture does.
Yeah.
We hook up with different women. We hang out. We do all those things. Yeah. So me not having those values, it makes it easier to fall into that temptation trap and go outside my marriage and and basically go out of my marriage. So it's just it's one reason I say is values. So not having some values that
and more like
value and some morals, that's what causes a man to cheat, because you have to value yourself. If you don't value yourself, then it's easy for you to sleep with other women, just literally just risking it all just because you don't value anything.
Yeah. And then you didn't really know your identity. You didn't know, like that wasn't a topic of like who is God called me to be.
Yeah.
You didn't care about that.
I didn't. I just wanted to live, have fun,
be happy.
Like that was it.
You was chasing happiness because
it.
Once, I guess, and so I can say on my part, I feel like once we got married, it got real.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the whole honeymoon and that puppy love type phase.
Yeah.
We stopped. When we got to pay bills. We had an apartment, and then we came in. I came in a relationship with a whole baby that he didn't know how to take care of. He didn't know how to help me.
Yeah, I ain't changing no diapers,
not changing diapers. It was just like I was like, why do I have to do everything on my own?
Yeah.
But somebody probably would have looked at it like, well, that was your baby. It's not actually. But he signed up. When he married me, he married my son too. But he didn't know how to be a dad, and I wasn't giving him a lot of grace. Nope. So I was always nagging. I would put him down every chance I got. I would discredit him. I would make him feel less than a man. Every chance that I got. And so we talk about like, okay, like I said, everything was happy. But then when it starts to be like, I'm verbally abusive, I'm
mentally.
He would say that I'm mentally and emotionally abusive. And I will admit that I was.
Yeah.
I was. And that I had some narcissistic tendencies as well. And every time that he messed up, this is what I would do. This is just me. Every time that he had did anything that I felt like that was not right, that was not good, I would use it to hang over his head and say, this is why you are not good enough and this is why I'm better. I would always look at myself as better. And I would remind him of that like every chance that I got. And so when we're talking about infidelity, the infidelity don't start when the infidelity starts. Like it doesn't start then. There's a leading up to it.
Yeah.
That people don't understand. It's not like you just randomly just go out one day and just say, hey, I'm going to go cheat on my wife. Yeah. I'm going to cheat on my husband. Because when it's not just the men, first of all, we're going to get into that too. Because I'm not innocent as well. But
yeah, so I mean, like you said, so that's basically what really led up to it.
That's what led up to it, yeah.
One reason was not having values.
Not having values. Well, first of all, we were living a lukewarm life.
Yeah.
We were lukewarm Christians. We were not really putting God first. Like we started out fasting. That stuff went out the window once we got married. Yeah. It was like, oh yeah, we about to, okay, turn up. Yeah. So we stopped making God the center of our marriage. Isaiah came in the relationship, didn't really understand the value of marriage, didn't understand all that, just didn't have values, period.
The value of self.
Of self. He didn't value himself. And then, so this is like, we give y'all a recipe. Listen, this is the recipe for infidelity to come in. And then we got a nagging wife, a wife who is verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. Doesn't know how to treat a man, because I didn't say that on the first episode, but why is it that, I know you said your mom didn't teach you how to treat a woman, but typically I've seen it. It's more common for parents to teach their boys how to treat a woman. Open the door for her. Like when I was a kid, my mom, my dad, you open the door for a woman, you pump her gas, you do all of this stuff. For women, nobody set us down and said, this is how you treat a man.
Nah, they
I don't even know another woman who was raised that way, to where her parents taught her how to treat a man.
No, they just basically taught, you're supposed to be treated this way.
Yeah. Exactly. Like my daddy always said, this is how a man is supposed to treat you, but he never told me how to treat a man. So I felt like men supposed to be tough. They did so that's so I can talk to you any kind of way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that men had feelings. I didn't know that men cried. And if you did cry, the first thing I would do was attack your manhood. Yeah. Man, you know, I would call you all kind of names if I even seen a hint of you getting in your feelings.
Yeah.
That is so bad, babe. I'm so sorry.
That is bad. And that's why, they say men's mental health is far worse
it
than
is, because y'all have to
suffering in silence, because you're scared of like your own spouse. You could be scared of your own spouse, how she will see your weaknesses.
Yeah.
So, and not, your spouse and everybody else out, and not, everybody else outside of the house, them too.
And you didn't feel safe, right?
So yeah, you just don't feel safe. And then that's how a lot of men, they fall into that depression, things like that. So.
Yeah. And then, let's talk about it, because remember, one of the questions, you don't have to keep touching that. But one of the questions, so somebody brought up on Instagram on the post and said, what is it about marriage that people need to escape from? Because they said infidelity is an escape, just like alcohol and drugs and video games and social media. Like, it's an escape.
Yeah. So, I mean, just basically, just like you just said, how you were basically attacking me, putting me down, making me feel less than. It makes it easier to escape from that, from someone else who's giving me something the total opposite.
Yeah.
So when I'm outside of work and someone making me feel like, oh man, you look good, you look nice, dang, you take care of your family, that's so nice. You take care of your kids, you pay, like, dang,
wow,
you're such a
somebody
you're such a good man.
That's what they were saying. That's what they would say.
Nah, anybody saying that, but it's just
they would.
It wasn't saying that exactly. It's just it felt safer. It's like, oh man, oh dang, you doing good.
Somebody appreciate me.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah. So it start off that way. That's how the temptation gets you. You say, okay, I know how you feeling at home, but I'm gonna show you how this other person can make you feel.
Yeah.
And
the enemy know exactly. The enemy knows what you want, what you're not getting at home, and he go put it right there in front of you in a nice package, and it just with a pretty bow on, and be like, here you go. Yeah. Here's the answer to all your problems.
Yeah. And it was easy. It's like it's easy.
You ain't got to work for it.
Yeah, it's like it was easy. Yeah, it came with no. It came with nothing. It just came with a good time and come back home. So a good conversation, whatever it may be. And you just feel like, oh man, it's good. So
yeah. And let's I guess this whole thing is about infidelity, so it's okay because it's a lot. This conversation is loaded.
Yeah,
and we're not gonna be able to discuss everything in one episode. This is gonna take
some time.
This is gonna take quite a few.
Take a couple episodes, maybe.
Okay, so let's talk about though that the infidelity, like it didn't start at you completely out, like right out cheat.
No, like
it started off with emotional.
Yeah,
it started off with like little things, and so
it started off emotional.
Or like the little just like little innocent, like texting.
Yeah, having friends
of
the opposite sex.
Yeah,
it's like I said, emotional was the first. That was a gateway. That was a gateway because when you got a work friend that's like, dang, like this is like a homeboy, like cool, who's still doing, like I said, we were lukewarm. She was going into, we started reading our Bible, but this other person who's outside of that, who's in the world and who's what you're used to, and she's also making you feel better than you do at home with her words. It made you start kind of saying, okay, I like talking to this person.
Yeah. And
you start hiding it and you start deleting messages.
And it just be like these little lies. Hey, did you delete a message? And it's just, no. Yeah. But it goes back to the lack of like the values. And one thing that I would always pride myself on. I don't do that anymore. But I remember, because if I would catch you like in just like a little white lie, I would get so angry because I'm like, I can't lie about really anything.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to lie. Y'all, when I have dreams, if I have dreams about an ex or I wake up and the first thing I do is tell my husband because I'm like, ain't no secrets, because I know that if I have secrets and the enemy gonna come in, I don't want that. So I'm telling everything. And so I didn't understand that, but I get it. I mean, I get that we come from two different backgrounds.
Yes.
Back when I was like just lying, it's just my dad, he did have a lot of integrity. Like he was a man of integrity. He did teach me that. But unfortunately, he just didn't teach me how to treat a man. He left that part out.
How to talk to him. It's really amazing.
Yeah, how to talk to a man. Yeah. Because it could be even something that's simple. Like if I have an issue, the way that I discuss it, it matters.
Yeah.
It matters. So if I say, like, if I have a problem, like if I wanted the dishes done, I can say, hey, babe, do you think, could you help me with the dishes tonight? I'm really tired. Like, I really need you to help me.
Yeah.
And then if you say no, then I could be like, okay, you know what? Whatever. You okay? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But back then it would be, why you ain't helping me with these dishes? I'm getting tired of you. You don't do nothing. You a sorry excuse for a man. You this, you that.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. So most of the time you still didn't do the dishes. And then I put you down. I got nothing out of that. Like nothing. Yeah. Why do we do that? Like, why do we talk to our men thinking that we're going to get a better result? Like thinking that I'm going to build you up and one day you're going to be the man that I want you to be. No, that is not how it works.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it's our culture.
It is.
Our culture thinks that's what we praise. We praise, I mean, you see it all day on social media, with the stuff we listen to, the music, with the way the women rap these days.
Oh, it's worse now. I feel like this.
Yeah, it's worse.
It's worse. What is it? City Girls and
it started then, but yeah, I mean, it's women. They want to be independent. They just honestly just feel like
they should run we should run everything. Yeah, it's very masculine.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of masculine energy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Women are a lot masculine. I get it. People say women got to be independent because men these days are trifling. But you gotta know how to be soft. You gotta learn how to be soft as well.
Am I softer now, babe?
Yeah, you soft.
I?
You soft, but. Yeah.
I've learned a lot though. I have learned a lot. And so I guess let's see. So I guess, do you want to go back to the topic of how we both were living this lukewarm life? Let me touch on that real quick.
Okay.
Because ahead. What I used to do is that we'll turn up on a weekend and then every now and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing a terrible job with praying and reading my Bible. Mm-hmm. I need to do better. So I'm like, I'm about to read my Bible. And then I'm looking at Isaiah like, okay, because I've always had this idea that my husband was going to come rescue me. I think we talked about that in the intro episode. Yeah. I always thought my husband was going to be the spiritual leader. And so I'm like, I would get pissed off, even though we didn't have this habit to get like reading our Bibles and praying and stuff. But when I felt like I needed to, because I always would feel convicted every now and then, like I need to get my life in order. Like I'm not living the way that I know God is calling me to live. But I'll be mad because Isaiah not following, like he not doing it. I'm just like, and so I go attacking him again.
Yeah.
You not good enough for me. You are not the type of husband that I deserve. I need somebody who's going to read the Bible with me, who's going to pray for me, who's going to help me to do better, help me to be better. But it was confusion. Yeah. It was a lot of confusion because it was a back and forth, lukewarm. It's not like the Bible says that a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. I was unstable and I was looking for him to rescue me, and he didn't even have what I like.
Yeah. I wasn't even in a place to rescue.
Right. And I judged you for that. And it was dumb for me to have done that. Yeah. I judged you. But then talk about, I guess you want me to get into the point to where I gave my life to God.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what you were talking about earlier, right? When I came back and I was completely different from who I was. Is that what you were talking about?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you did. Okay. I wasn't. So you were talking about what I just said. Me going back and forth. Mm-hmm. So should we say that part for another day?
What you think? Hold on.
Have you looked at I didn't even see what time we started.
I don't know. We can do a part 2.
Yeah, we'll have to do a part 2. We'll have to do a part 2 about the whole infidelity thing. And
yeah, because it's still a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's a lot of whys, but I think we touched on a lot of things as to why men cheat, but also women, we're not innocent either. Yeah. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say, and then we can get into the how. How did we get to where we overcome that part of the infidelity into where we are now? Too. Yeah. So we should do a couple parts on this.
Okay, cool. And then I want to say this real quick, because a lot of people think that we are glamorizing infidelity. Yeah. And that is literally the opposite of what we're not glamorizing it, but we are exposing something that a lot of people have try to hide. Like most couples, we know quite a few couples that have been through infidelity, but they won't tell people. Yeah. They won't talk about it. There are so many marriages right now who are on the verge of divorce because of infidelity, and we're not glamorizing it. What we are glamorizing, and what we do want to showcase is the fact that God does restore. He redeems.
He can rescue you. Yeah,
he rescued us. Like he came and completely changed us individually. He changed us individually. Yeah. And then he restored our marriage. He redeemed everything that the enemy thought he was going to take away.
Yeah.
And so that's what we glamorizing. Like that this is what we want to glamorize, is the fact that God can restore your marriage. Because everybody thinks that, oh, if a man does this, oh, I'm leaving and I'm done. No, divorce.
Yeah.
Imagine if we would have gotten a divorce. Imagine we would not have been able to see this moment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten to see you like this. Maybe you would have found your purpose. I don't know. But just to see how good like God is, and to see how much he has changed you and the work that he's done, how much he's done in me.
Yeah, same in you. Yeah.
I can't, we are not the same people.
Not at all.
I don't even know how this is possible. Like how?
Yeah, it's just a lot of maturity, prayer, and fasting.
Yeah. It was, I think, heavy on the fasting, right?
Yeah.
Heavy on the fasting. But it's crazy to see where we are now.
Yeah.
Imagine what divorce would have done to our kids.
Yeah, would have been until they only got 2 Christmases.
Yeah, they would have been happy about that, but they probably would have like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna get a whole Christmas when I go home to mama, and then we go to daddy's, we get this, and because then when you divorce and you start trying to outdo each other, so then kids get extra presents.
There's still some type of trauma that
is trauma
they go through. So, but
there's trauma. Why do that? Why split up a family when you can just try God?
Yeah,
the other stuff didn't work, and so we decided, you know what?
Yeah.
We're gonna try God.
Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, yeah. So, but yeah, we're not praising, what you say, infidelity.
We're not glamorizing.
Showing that it can be worked through. There's a way. Now, we get it. There are some times where it's just like, nah, you need to leave. There are times where you do need to leave. Mm-hmm. But when you have 2 people who are committed to being better with each other, and they're doing it together, then it's possible.
Yeah, but it is possible as long as both people are willing to work towards better in the marriage and working towards growing.
Yeah. So it's possible.
It's possible.
So yeah, you want to?
I don't know. Is that
end it there?
I guess so. I guess we can. Did we have what else did we have on these notes? I know we didn't have much, but yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I don't want to stop talking. Like, I really want to keep going, but
it's late.
It is late. Yeah, it is. It is about to be 1 a.m. We have to record these podcasts when the kids
go to bed. So, yeah.
And then we had some other stuff to do before we got to the podcast. And we had church tonight. And
yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, but I love it, babe. I just love you so much.
I love you too. It's so beautiful.
Oh, you so handsome. I love your outfit tonight too.
Appreciate it. Wait to get my shirts. See my shirts I got.
You got some new. Oh, you got some new shirts?
Yeah, they coming.
They coming?
Yeah.
You got me one too?
Yeah, get you one.
Okay. But so I want to challenge the couples. If y'all have made it this far in the video or the podcast, I want to challenge you. Y'all start talking about, like, just reminisce with each other. Talk about how y'all first met.
Yeah, it's because it's crazy. Honestly, we was just looking at our old messages and just honestly where we came from. And I mean, I ain't sure, but I really felt some type of way seeing this. Like, wow, it was like, God is real.
You about to cry?
No, I'm not about to cry.
Oh.
But it was like a God is real moment.
I mean, it's okay if you cry.
No, it was like a God is real moment, because it's like, man, we really was out here basically struggling, kind of. We were struggling, and we've grown and we've came so far. So yeah, looking at your old messages, definitely it shows you that God is working in your life. And he's doing it. You may not see it right now, but if you go back and look at that, where you came from, your old pictures, whatever messages, conversations you've had in the past, you can see the growth that you've had and how God has sustained you through all that.
Because somebody said, like, no matter how bad your life is, you I'm sure you're living in the middle of one of your answered prayers.
Yeah.
You look back on the, you will be, because I think sometimes we lose focus when things are not perfect. And so I think that's a good way to find some gratitude. And then it's doing that, it created intimacy. Because when we were talking about like how we first met, like anytime we do that, anytime we talk about how we first met and this is what I thought about you and you were so cute and I remember you had this on, and then we looking at the messages, after that I'm like, I want some.
Yeah.
I want some. So
I'm gonna look at the messages again.
Boy, shut up.
I'm pulling them up right now. I'm pulling messages up.
But for real, so I would encourage you, couples, y'all do that, because that's a way to spark some intimacy into your relationship, into your marriage. We talking about marriages. We not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. We don't condone, right?
Yeah, nah.
We're not promoting fornication. But if you are married, do that. And if you're not married, it's still fine to do it, but just don't have sex.
Yeah.
Don't say we told you to do it, right? So I guess
that's it.
We just gonna go ahead and end it there.
Y'all don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube. If you listen to this on the podcast, follow us, download the podcast, and just play it throughout the day. Share it with somebody who may needs to hear it.
Yeah. And we just want to remind y'all that with God, anything is possible. Let's say, let's do that. Maybe could that be at the end of everything? Let's do it. 1, 2. With God. We're going to say with God, everything is possible. Okay?
Yeah.
1, 2.
I'm going to say with God, you're going to say everything's possible. It's kind of like football.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
All right, 1, 2. With God,
everything is possible.
With God,
everything is possible. That is so lame. We probably gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah,
that was so whack. That was probably cute though.
Yeah. With God,
everything is possible. Wait, I gotta do it with some expression.
All right. With God,
everything is possible.
With God,
everything is possible.
With God,
everything is possible. Date night with Oputas.
Day night on me, day night on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, what?
Day night on me, day night on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Date night.
Whatever. Bye, y'all. We'll see y'all later.
See y'all.